Hello, today we're going to test out this Schumacher SJ1332. It's like a device you'd use to jump your battery. It has an air compressor, has DC and AC outlets on it, and I just thought it was pretty cool. My friend gave it to me because I was helping him out with some work around the house, and so I thought that was pretty generous of him. But I'm starting to look into like electrical backup power for camping, or perhaps if the grid or the electricity goes out for a while, things you can use around the house to help power things up. And this has some limitations, but it's also pretty perfect fit for some light duty backup mode, I guess you'd say. But anyways, you're certainly not going to connect this up to your house or anything like that. I mean, this is just for like camping and light duty stuff. Anyways, I'm going to test out, see how much power it'll actually put out. But I'll give you an overview on it first. Around the back here, it actually has an air compressor that puts out pressure through a air hose. You hook up your tire. There it is. It has some adapters there you can hook up to different things, but basically it's a screw-on adapter. And it also has this air tube, which you can use for like blowing up air mattresses or beach balls or whatever. So you know what a pain in the butt that can be, sitting there blowing up a beach ball. It takes you an hour and then you're all tuckered out by the time you're done. But this thing right here can do it for you. And basically you press it one way and the air compressor comes on, and there's also a gauge here. It goes up to 150. I'm not sure how much pressure it'll actually put out. But you turn it one way and the air compressor goes on. And that's how that works. And you push the switch the other way and the blower goes on. Blows out some air. That's a good amount of air coming through it, so I imagine it would cut down the amount of charge time quite significantly. Then also over here you have a plug, and that's how you charge it. You just plug your extension cord into it and it charges the device up. So it's pretty handy to use that way. I already used it for jumping my garden tractor battery. It worked quite nice. It says it puts out like 1200 amps, which is really a big, huge battery. But you'd use the cables for that. Over here on the front, there's a switch to move it to DC jump start. So you move it there, and then you see how many volts you got there. So obviously, as you use up the battery, then this voltage will go down. But that's basically it. You just hook it up and then switch it over to DC, and then it gives you power to jump start something. It also has a USB port here, so you can charge up your phone. I used that while I was out cutting wood the other day. I just had this thing with me. It was in the back of my truck, so I hooked up my phone, charged it up while I was cutting wood. That was nice. It has a couple of DC ports here, 20 amps. That's a little bit more than what you get out of your car, so I mean, you're not going to run huge devices off of it, but it's not bad either. That's pretty good. And then you got two 120 volt receptacles there. It says 3.4 amps on the bottom. That's a little over 400 watts. So I think that's probably the peak power, because this thing was advertised to put out around 200 watts. And that's what I want to check. Do a test on it to see how much power it'll actually provide. It also has a light here, kind of a big flashlight, I think, but hey, if you don't need a light while you're working on something, you got it up there. And then it has the inverter button here. You press that on, and it'll show you how many watts you're putting out, which is kind of handy. Also, there's a button here you press for test, and it shows you what the percentages of the battery. And they want you to charge the thing up like once a month, I guess, just to keep it fresh. And lithium-ion batteries are like that. I'm not even sure what kind of battery this has in it, actually. I don't know. Let's go ahead and check to see what kind of power it can put out. I'll just let you know, I hooked it up to a refrigerator in our garage, and normally those will pull like 300 or 400 watts, so that didn't work. So I was hopeful, but no, not that much. So, but anyway, as I was out hooking up wiring on my taillights on my trailer, and I pulled out the soldering gun, I'm thinking, well, maybe it'd be enough for that. So I tried that out, and plug that in, and pull it, And up here it shows how many watts it's pulling. So as long as it stays under 200, it should be able to provide it. 123. Yep. So the soldering gun works. So that's pretty handy. Now I don't have to run extension cords out to something I'm working on. I can work remotely with that. Okay. And when I was using my chainsaw, I used my Dremel tool to sharpen the chain. That was a really good way instead of a file. But anyways, I used this for my Dremel tool, and that worked quite well. Then I'm thinking, well, what about bigger drills? Does that work? So I got out my 3/8 drill. Figured we'd try this. Now, this is going to be varying based on how many watts your drill pulls. Alright, so let's see if this works. Up to about 180 watts, and that's getting pretty close to the limit, but it was able to do that just fine. So if you need to do some drilling, this is now a battery drill. I mean, it's a big battery. I have a battery drill too. That's a little bit more portable. But that's kind of cool. I mean, you never know. So I'm thinking, well, what about my 1/2-inch drill? Now I'm thinking it probably won't work because when I tested it already, but two, it's a 1/2-inch drill pulls a lot more watts than a 3/8 drill. But this is what happens when you overload it. Didn't like it. Too much power. So I gave it 3 tries, and then it said, no, we're done. And it shut itself off and gave it that alarm. So that was kind of cool. So I think this thing works pretty good, especially if you're like take it camping or just keeping the car for jumping for sure. And then it has that air compressor that can blow up your tire if it gets a little low. That's kind of handy. But it's kind of a light duty power source, and that's okay. I mean, you just have to understand the limitations that come with it, I think. But all in all, I think it's pretty handy. I like its design, how you can charge your phone, and I have uses for this. I'd much rather, like when I jumped the garden tractor, for example, it was much easier to take this device up there instead of driving my truck or pushing the tractor down, which normally what I'd have to do. So this is a pretty neat device. I like it a lot, and I'm going to use it quite a bit, especially camping and stuff like that where you don't need a lot of power. You can just plug stuff in here, and as long as it's less than 200 watts, it'll do a pretty good job. Anyways, I hope this helps. And like I said, I'm starting to look into like backup solar stuff, and I just ordered the Blue Eddy AC200 off the Indiegogo campaign. I think I got it for like $1,200, and now it's up to 14, I think, and I think it may have already ended. I don't know what the full retail is, like $1,800 for it. But I'm going to be testing that out kind of the same way, just seeing what I can run off of it. And also I got some solar panels coming to charge it, so that will be my next step. And hopefully I'll be able to use that for like running a couple refrigerators. This one won't run a refrigerator, but the Blue Eddy would be able to do that. So that's pretty kind of cool. And then also the idea of having a portable solar charger, and we can use that on our camper and when we get a camper. I'm thinking about that too. Just kind of planning ahead. But anyways, the devices they're coming out with nowadays are pretty handy, and this one I like a lot. Seems to be pretty handy, and it's for light duty stuff, and it's something you can take with you, and especially designed for charging, jump and starting your car, or giving a little air pressure. It's pretty good. Anyways, hope this helps.